again, home again. Dick Lovett Motorrad. Here to take a bike out that I don't know what right now I don't know what it's for. I don't know which bit of the market it's trying to fulfill. Sorry, I was just getting my helmet and my gloves off my bike. Anyway, so the bike I'm taking out today is the 800 GS. Sort of overlapping with a 900, but smaller, cheaper, not terrible looking. Let me show you, and here it is in trophy colours, the F800 GS. It's still the 850 engine, I believe. It's detuned from the XR. Let's see what it's about. This should be interesting.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah? We were built to thrive, yeah? I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah? We were built to thrive, yeah?
So, the BMW F800 GS. I've just done about 10 miles, I suppose, maybe 8, of country roads, single track lanes, relatively quick stuff, and some slow stuff. And overall, this is a Goldilocks bike. Let me show you what I mean. So what do I mean by a Goldilocks bike? It is more than half the price of my 1300, but it's more than half as good. It's more than twice the bike of the 310. It's more comfortable than the XR, same engine. It rides as well as the R, same engine. And it looks better, I think. So this could be the sweet spot for this engine from this manufacturer. It's growing on me. I will say that screen is tantamount to fucking useless. It doesn't really do anything. And when you sit in the cockpit, let me show you sort of where you're sat there, it feels like a bit of the bike's missing. But it's nice having sort of that bit in front of you. It feels purposeful. Not a big fan of the wheels. I think some spoke wheels would make it feel a little bit more of a bigger bike, I suppose. It sounds nice. It was super comfortable. Lovely that you've got to use the gearbox. I miss using a gearbox. On the 1300 and the big bikes, they're so torquey that you can do pretty much anything in any gear and it will just happily do it. But this, you're up and down the gearbox, and that makes it a significantly more fun ride. This bike starts at about 10 grand, which isn't a lot of money these days. This one, I think, is probably about 11 and a half. And if you threw everything at it, you'd get it to about 13 grand, which stuff like ESA, dynamic ESA, this has got a twist preload. And reality is, if you've got this bike, you don't need dynamic ESA. If it's just you on the bike, that's not an option that's worth ticking. It's got heated grips. It's only got 2 riding modes. Again, road and rain, that's all you need. It's got the very familiar BMW switchgear, the proper screen. And all in all, it's a very, very good bike. Oh, I was in rain mode. Put that into road mode for the ride back. Quick shift, that was super slick. This is a good little bike. And I think if you're not particularly tall, or you're not particularly confident with tall bikes, and I'll show you the seat height in a second, you can get, it's nice and planted, and the weight of the bike feels balanced. It doesn't feel top heavy particularly. Interestingly, the XR, the F800 XR feels more top heavy than this. That bigger front wheel does make for better road handling. I don't know what I'd get instead of this, to be honest with you, if this is the problem I'm trying to solve. I do think, and I've said this many times now, I do think BMW make the best bikes. across the range when you consider cost and performance. I mean, I suppose I should say that I'm filming one of their bikes, and I own one. But yeah, everything was kind of good. My only niggle was the clutch. It was light, it was okay, it just feels, I mean, I know clutches do that, but it just feels a bit clangy. That's my only niggle I could say about this bike. Remarkable. So this is what I mean by it's a Goldilocks bike. The porridge is the right temperature when you put everything into the mix. The price is right, the comfort's right, the performance is right, the gearbox is right, the sound is right, the tech is right. It's not the most exciting bike in the world, but I don't suppose it's trying to be. Let's have a look at the seat height. Before I do, if you could hit subscribe, that would be a massive help to help grow this channel. Right, let's have a look. Let's head back to the dealership and we'll sum up.
Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah.
So back from the test ride on the F800 GS, and I stand by my assertion that it is a Goldilocks bike. It is just the right amount of good and cost and technology to be the bike as a great entry-level bike, as a great bike to anybody who wants to come down from a big adventure bike. I would go as far as to say, of all the test rides I've done so far, that was the most enjoyable. More than the electric scooter, more than the 400 scooter, more than the Desert X, more than, well, definitely more than the R18. But it's a great, great little bike. And it's funny, you can be lost in having big engines. You can be lost in the thought of having the coolest looking bike in whatever version of cool you're after. But for a bike that's just good, it's just a good bike at not a lot of money that would look after you, I think the F800 GS is the bike to buy. Pound for pound, it's the bike to buy. Now, I haven't ridden the Hondas or the Triumphs or the Yamahas because my local dealer won't let me at the moment because my YouTube channel's not big enough. But for everything I've ridden so far, I can't see past it. And with that, don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.